How's it going, guys? It's Tucker Tuitions here, and today we're going to be talking about how to expand brackets. Now, the type of questions we're going to have a look at is how do we use these in an exam situation. So this is one of the exam questions you can get. Given that 2x minus y multiplied by 5x plus 2y multiplied by 3x minus 5y gives me this expression here where a, b, c, and d are constants. We need to find the values of a, b, c, and d. Now, of course, the only way for us to be able to do this is to first to actually expand the bracket, which is what we're going to do. So here I've got 2x minus y multiplied by 5x plus 2y multiplied by 3x minus 5y. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to expand these two brackets here. So 2x multiplied by 5x, that's going to give me 10x squared. 2x multiplied by 2y, that is going to give me 4xy. Minus y times 5x, that gives me minus 5xy. And then finally, minus y multiplied by 2y gives me minus 2y squared. And if you're wondering to yourself, how on earth did he do that? Then please go and check out the earlier videos that I did with expanding brackets part 1 and part 2. So there I've got my expression inside my bracket. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect the middle terms. Why? Because they're the only ones that have got xy's here. So again, I write another line. 10x squared, so no other 10x squared terms. So I'm going to write that underneath. 4 take away 5 is minus 1. So I just write minus xy. And I've got minus 2y squared. So I just write that. And then I've got them multiplied by 3x minus 5y. Now what I need to do is I now need to expand this just by multiplying this whole expression by 3x first. So I'm going to do 10x multiplied by 3x first. 10 times 3 gives me 30. X squared times x gives me x cubed. So I've done this one here. Now I'm going to do minus xy times my 3x here. So minus xy times 3x, so minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. X times x gives me x squared. And then y by itself I leave alone. Now I do my minus 2y times by my 3x. Minus 2 times 3 is minus 6. Y squared times x is xy squared. It doesn't really matter which order you do it technically, but if I was you, I would always write the x term first and then the y, and keep it the same all throughout. So now that I've done that, I'm now going to do the same again, but I'm going to multiply it by minus 5y instead. So 10x multiplied by minus 5y here. 10 times minus 5 is minus 50. X squared times y is x squared y. So I've done this one. Now I'm going to multiply minus xy by minus 5y. Minus 1 times minus 5 is plus 5. Xy times y gives me xy squared. So I've done that one. The final one I need to do now is minus 2y squared multiplied by minus 5y. Minus 2 times minus 5 is plus 10. Y squared times y is y cubed. Now I need to collect the terms up together. So I've got 30x cubed. I leave that alone. Then I've got minus 3x squared y. I'm going to find x squared y along these. Not here. We've got it here. So minus 3, take away minus 50, gives me minus 53 x squared y. Now I've got minus 6xy squared. I look for the other xy squareds. Ah, here it is. So minus 6 plus 5 is minus 1. So I just write minus xy squared. Finally, I've just got 10y cubed here. So I'm going to write plus 10 and then y to the power of 3. So now I'm done. So all I need to do now is, if I go back to the question, I need to find the values of a, b, c and d. A is in front of x cubed. So my a equals 30. Because that's what's in front of x cubed. B is in front of x squared y. And x squared y, in front of it, is minus 53. So B is equal to minus 53. C is in front of xy squared. So C is going to equal, where I find xy squared, I've just got a minus sign here. So that's just minus 1. And finally for D, as it's left over, is in front of the y cubed. So I just write my final line. D is equal to 10. And that's it. I'm done. So what I want you to do now is have a go yourself. Have a go yourself and see if you can expand this and get the right values for A, B, C and D. So pause the video now and have a go. Okay, now let's go through the answers. So, I'm going to do exactly the same process as before. I'm going to multiply 3x by 10x, that gives me 30x squared. 3x times my y is plus 3xy. Minus 2y times 10 gives me minus 20xy. And then finally, minus 2y times by my y is minus 2y squared. And then I multiply it by 6x minus y. Because I've got plus 3xy and minus 20xy, I do 3 take away 20. So then I've got 30x squared minus 17xy minus 2y squared in a bracket, and I multiply it by 6x minus y. So the multiplication I now need to do is 30x squared times 6x, and then minus 17xy times 6x, and then minus 2y squared times 6x. So let's start with 30x squared. 30 times 6 is 180. X squared times x is x cubed. Minus 17xy times 6, and that is going to give me 7 times 6 is 42. 10 times 6 is 60, so I get 102. So I'm going to have minus 102. Xy times x is going to give me x squared y. And then minus 2y times 6x is going to give me minus 12xy squared. Now that I've done those ones, I now need to apply the same, but to minus y. So 30x squared times minus y is minus 30x squared. Y. Minus 17y times by minus y is plus 17xy squared. And finally, minus 2y times minus y is plus 3y cubed. I then simplify it. And you can probably see that I've made an error already, because when I was meant to multiply 30x squared by 6x, you must make sure you add the powers together. That should be cubed. Because that's meant to be 30x squared times 6x. I didn't multiply the powers together. So now I simplify it. So 180x to the 3 minus 102, take away 30 here, because these are the same terms. Gives me minus 132 x squared y. Minus 12xy squared plus 17xy squared. That's going to give me plus 5xy squared. And finally, right here, and again, look what I did. Be very careful with common misconceptions. The minus 2 times minus 1, you do not add the numbers together. You must make sure that when you do your multiplication, you do not make that error. So it's plus 2y cubed. Now if I go back, I compare my values for A, B, C, and D. So A is equal to 180. B is equal to minus 132. C is equal to 5. D is equal to 2. And I'm done there. And just remember, make sure you don't make those misconceptions that I made earlier. Make sure that you are careful when you do it. Make sure you're careful when you do it. Okay, many thanks for watching, everybody. Please leave a subscribe and a like, and comment down below if there's any other videos you want me to cover. And the next one I will post as soon as possible. Our calculator. Bye.